Welcome to Busy Gardening with Mrs. Busybody. Hey everybody, my name is Lovey. I'm a new gardener here in Zone 8B, South Carolina, starting our journey to growing our own homegrown fruits, nuts, and vegetables. I hope that you join me on my journey as I start building our garden from the very start and enjoy what you see. I ask that you take time and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment from time to time and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy my journey. Hi everybody, it's me Lovey. I'm a new gardener here in Zone 8B, South Carolina, and in today's video, I'm going to show you all what I use to keep my garden fertilized all season long. We will be showing you some granulated fertilizers as well as some liquid fertilizers that I apply. But today primarily we're focusing on the granulated ones I use, which are blood meal, which is providing a high source of nitrogen to my flowers and vegetables and herbs. And we will also be using some bone meal as well. So yes, we will be using the bone meal because it provides a very high source of phosphorus to our plants. And that's what's going to help them when they are creating their fruits and their vegetables. You really want to make sure that you are feeding your plants a very high source of phosphorus. It does have 3 of nitrogen, but mostly this is a source of phosphorus for your plants. And that's what I'm going to be showing you, what I use, how I mix them. I do want to give a special shout out to Urban Container Backyard Gardener Moses. Moses is the one who helped me realize that it was more cost effective to mix them all together instead of applying them separately. Also, I will be mixing in some earthworm castings, and when you're doing container gardening, you definitely want to make sure that you have your earthworm castings. And so I have mixed in 3 cups of each, 3 cups of blood meal, 3 cups of bone meal, and 3 cups of earthworm castings. Here I am at Senor Gigante, my mama's jalapeno pepper plant, who is now producing out maybe the 4th crop of jalapeno peppers. And I am going to be applying a hefty amount of the granulated fertilizer right along the base of the plant. I'm going to snatch these onions that have been timed, these red onions. I have a lot of them down in here that I should have harvested for a while. They have been my deterrent crop for a while now. And if you may or may not have noticed, all of those bushy yellow marigolds are gone. As well, I have cut them down. And now it is definitely time for a pruning of this pest-ridden, oh my goodness. Those pests really did a number on my mullein here. So while I'm over here, I'm definitely going to do some pruning up of this mullein plant. And get those leaves on over to the compost because, yeah, the pests have been doing a number on my mullein plant right here in this little raised bed that I've been growing for my mama's jalapeno plant. Still have a few of my yellow marigolds over here. I didn't cut them all the way out, and I did leave the stems of the roots in. I didn't snatch them up out of the by the roots, so they will grow back, but just not as bushy. And so I am now over here towards the back side of the arch trellis that I have built, and I'm just applying a hefty amount of my fertilizer to my cucumbers and tomato plants that I just recently did a nice pruning of in a very recent video. So we are at the back of the cucumber wall where you are seeing some beautiful petunias. They're like purple petunias still blooming and growing. And down here, I see cucumbers. Those are my purplish variety cucumbers. So we're just making sure, I'm going to make sure this cherry tomato definitely gets a hefty amount. And over here in this bed, I have also done a major cutout and pruning of my marigolds that I grew. So we're just making sure that all of the tomato plants over here in this bed, where the romas are, that are now starting to grow back after being cut down, we're making sure that they get some of the fertilizer. And my two Tabasco pepper plants that are right here as well. So we're just fertilizing everything that I feel like I really want to make sure it gets a good fertilizer, a good treatment of fertilizer. And back over here to my other Roma tomato that is growing in my Vigo garden tomato planter with trellis that I won from growing out the box by participating in the scavenger hunt. He's growing back and have some new tomatoes, so I'm gonna give her a little tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah, she's giving me new flowers, so we're gonna make sure she definitely stays fertilized over here in my tomato planter. Y'all don't pay no mind to them strawberries in that tower right there to the left. We just gonna act like we don't see it, okay? Okay, yeah. And we're gonna give our fruit trees some, our lime and lemon tree get some, and even some of our celeries. So yeah, we're just going through the garden with our mixture of granulated fertilizer and fertilizing all of our vegetables that I feel like really need this treatment. Which leads me over here to my grow bags where I have two beefsteak tomatoes and one cherry tomato plant. And so they have been still pumping out a nice amount of tomatoes. So we're going to make sure they get a good issue of this granulated fertilizer as well. Now over to the Super Sweet 100s and my Bodacious hybrids. They are all getting a treatment of the granulated fertilizer too. And we have been doing a good job at trying to keep them fertilized. So heading over here to my watermelon patch, I had some surprises as I came over here. Yeah, we decided to give the grow bag some fertilizer because we definitely have some more sugar babies coming out, and we have some more crimson sweets coming on the vine. So we're still fertilizing the grow bags and the watermelons for sure because they are pumping out still melons. Yeah. There's one that is still has plenty of green tendrils surrounding her, and so she's definitely not ready to come out yet. So we're going to still make sure that the tire where the main vines are getting the granulated fertilizer. And these last two melons are a complete surprise for me today. I had no clue those two were even right there. So now let's go on over here and look at my Georgia rattlesnakes because I know that there are two here that I had no clue was out here. And look at them. There they are. There's one. And the other one was around closer towards the beginning of the vine that I found down inside. Yeah, there it is. Look at what we have here. Two more rattlesnakes. Two more rattlesnakes. Yeah, we got more rattlesnakes growing, guys. So what I'm doing now is just exposing the main vine closest to where the drip line is so I can get my granulated fertilizer, come back and apply a nice hefty amount near the main roots of the vine where they're coming out of the hole where they grew, where they sprouted from. So yeah, and now what we're going to do now is we're going to grab a couple of scoops of our horse manure compost from our wagon and drop it down on top of there as well. So yeah, we are now going into phase two, which is after the granulated fertilizer. We are applying some of my horse manure compost to top off our vegetables and fruits. This combination of granulated fertilizer topped with compost is going to aid in our plants continuously producing and pumping out some nice, healthy vegetables and fruits, guys. And so, yeah, the rattlesnakes are the first to get some, and I'm also applying some to my sweet potatoes that are here in the grow bags next to my rattlesnakes. So, the sweet potatoes over here are also getting some of the horse manure compost applied down into the grow bags. Also, what I'm applying in the grow bags of my sweet potatoes are some myriad of potash because the potash is for your vegetables that grow under the ground, your bulbers, your tubers. So you do want to make sure that if you want some nice big potatoes and carrots, make sure you're sprinkling some of that myriad of potash where they are growing. I have a few rainbow carrots growing there, so they're going there. And now I'm bringing some over here to my grow bags where I have my sweet potatoes and are going to add a nice amount down in here with my potatoes along with the fertilizers that I have also applied. We want some nice sized sweet potatoes, guys, so we are making sure that we are doing our fertilizing. And now it's just time to water everything in. We want to water in our fertilizer, water in our compost, and make sure that it is thoroughly saturated in the grow bag. And my Georgia rattlesnakes as well. They're going to get a nice hit over here. There you go. Making sure, even though they have a drip line down there, I've just applied my fertilizers and my compost. So, and as you can see, this myriad of potash is only providing them with potassium. It is a very high yield of potassium. It has 60 of potassium, no nitrogen, and no phosphorus. I've also fertilized my trees today, guys. We've given them some of the granulated fertilizer down in their pots and are getting them watered in as well. This here is my Paul Rosa plum tree and my two elderberry bushes and my American plum tree right there as well. Well, family, thank you for coming along with me as I showed you what I use to fertilize my fruits and vegetables throughout the season. And apologies for having to do the voiceover due to my audio issues. But until the next time, I will plant you now and dig you later. Thank you for watching.